Welcome back to Hermit in the Woods Tarot Channel. If you are new here, my name is Matt, and this is a space for real conversations about growth, mindset, purpose, navigating life's transition with clarity. On this channel, we don't sugarcoat, we reflect, we think, we level up. If that's your vibe, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. It truly helps the channel grow and reach more people who need these messages. Whether you're here for insight, direction, or just a moment of grounding, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Hermit in the Woods Tarot Channel. Today I want to talk about something most people don't expect to feel heartbreak over, and that's losing a job. And this could be a loved one, a family member. It could be a lot of things. For me, I'm sharing my experience with losing my accounting position that I held for 4.5 years. And this happened 8 months ago, last year, in the end of May. But it affected me in such a strong way. But it hurt more than I thought it would. And surprising ways that it helped me grow. But we'll explore the emotions, the attachment we sometimes place on work, how to process grief when your identity feels tied to a role. I never thought a job could break my heart, but losing my accounting position, it did. Not because of the work itself or the pay. And I loved what I did, and I felt like I was really good at it. And it wasn't because of the title. I had poured myself fully into this position, my time, my energy, my hope. And I believed I could make things better, that I could fix what was broken. And I knew somewhat going into this role when I took it that they have trouble keeping people there. And I didn't really know the reason why, but obviously I felt out. It was a toxic environment, sometimes abusive, and I felt like, since I'm a very good accountant, I felt like, oh, maybe they just, maybe there's something that I could fix, and I felt that way, but I treated it like it was mine, like it was my purpose. And when it ended, it felt hollow. And I watched NASCAR, and along with watching NASCAR, there's this commercial that would keep coming on, and it's the Castro GTX ad. And there's this car, it's a race car, spinning on the ice in circles. And to me, that felt like the nuclear disaster that was my life at that time. Moving perfectly, yet endlessly lost, with slow, soulful music in the background. I believe it was Marvin Gaye or something. I'm not sure what the song is, but I'm sure everybody's heard it and seen this commercial. But every time I saw it, I'm pulled back to that heartbreak. So what would the Hermit say? And he would remind us that the mind stores pains in symbols. The spinning car is not the loss itself. It's a reflection of the chaos that I felt inside, trying to maintain control in a place that had none. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." That season ended, and I'm learning that it wasn't a failure, it was redirection of my life. There's a kind of heartbreak that no one prepares you for. Not romantic, not dramatic, just quiet. It's the heartbreak of losing something you built your identity around. I didn't just lose a job, I lost a version of myself. I believe I was meant to fix something broken. I believe I was the answer, but sometimes the answer is never you. And that realization It cuts deep into my heart, you know. The hermit would say this gently: you are not grieving employment, you are grieving an illusion. That I thought endurance meant loyalty. I thought loyalty meant love. I thought love meant staying. But the scripture in Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. It didn't guard mine, and I attached it. I tied my worth to being needed. And being needed feels powerful until you realize you are pouring into something that would not pour back into you. There's a verse in Ecclesiastes 3:6, a time to keep and a time to cast away. The hermit understands timing. There are seasons where you build and seasons where you release. Sometimes the release feels like rejection, but it may be protection. And I wanted to be the one who fixed it, the one who stabilized it, the one who made it better. Psalm 127:1 says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Some structures are not yours to save. Some systems are not yours to carry. And if you try to hold up a collapsing wall long enough, you will make exhaustion for a purpose. What hurt the most wasn't the paycheck. It was realizing I was not chosen to stay. But maybe the lesson was never about being chosen. Maybe it was about choosing myself or yourself. There is a quiet truth in Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? When you are grieving, you don't perceive it. You're only feeling the loss, the spinning thoughts, the replaying memories, the soundtrack your brain attached to the moment everything shifted. But that's spinning. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're between seasons. And the hermit would ask, why did you believe you had to be the savior? Who taught you that fixing dysfunction proves your worth? That's the real work. Not blaming them, not shaming yourself, just understanding the pattern. Jesus withdrew often, even when people needed him. Even when the crowds followed him. In Luke 5:16, but Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Withdrawal is not weakness. Sometimes stepping away is obedience. If you're heartbroken over a job, or a loved one, or a family member who passed away, or whatever it is, hear this clearly. It does not mean you were foolish. It means you cared. But caring without boundaries becomes self-sacrifice, and self-sacrifice without wisdom becomes self-neglect. There is another promise in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. That doesn't mean it feels good. It means it is being used. Even this heartbreak, even this identity shift, even this quiet unraveling. The hermit closes with this: you were not rejected, you were redirected. The cold season did not break you, it revealed where you were standing on ice. And maybe, just maybe, you were never meant to save that place. You were meant to outgrow it. So if this resonates with you, you're not alone. Some heartbreaks don't come from people, they come from purpose shifting. And when the purpose shifts, identity follows. But you are not lost, you are becoming. If you've been following along, you know now this wasn't just about losing your job. It was about losing a story we tell ourselves. The story that we can fix everything. That being needed equals being valued. That endurance proves worth. The Castro GTX car spinning on ice isn't just a commercial, it's a mirror. A reminder of the chaos we feel when control slips away. when seasons end, when identity is challenged. The Hermit teaches us that stillness is not weakness, withdrawal is not failure, reflection is not regret. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and now we know that in all things God works for the good of those who loved him. Even heartbreak, even loss, even spinning chaos. The end of the season is never the end of the story. It's a turning point, a chance to step back, breathe, and see what truly matters. So take this moment, sit with it, learn from it, and when you're ready, step forward into the next season with clarity, with boundaries, with yourself fully intact. You were not rejected, you were redirected, and that is a gift. And it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day for all the people out there. Thank you for watching. Alright, Aries, let's step into the woods. The fire is low, the wind is cold, and somewhere in the distance you still hear echoes of a throne you thought was yours. And this is your Iron Throne spread. I use House of the Dragon tarot cards. And it's not soft, it's not honest. You pulled the page of Tangards, the 6 of Tangards, the 9 of Tangards, the Ace of Crowns, the 4 of Dragons, and your spirit message will be the 3 of Crowns. Oops, sorry. Let's talk about what really happened. The Page of Tangards. This is you when the offer first appeared. Hopeful, open, vulnerable. You believed in it. You saw possibility. You emotionally invested before the ink was even dry. In career, you weren't just applying for a job. You were applying for relief, for validation, for finally. And of course, if you already have a job, this may not resonate, but it could be maybe you're looking for a promotion or that sort of thing. In love, it's the same pattern. You tend to lead with your heart first and armor later. And for all the people out there, happy Valentine's Day. So the page is innocent, but the innocent gets bruised in kingdoms built on power. The 6 of Tangards, this is nostalgia. This is, I thought it would feel like it used to. This is attaching to the fantasy of stability. Career-wise, this opportunity felt familiar, safe, like something you once had or once believed you deserved. It triggered old hopes, maybe even old wounds about not being chosen. In heartbreak, this screams unfinished emotional business. You don't just grieve the person, you grieve the version of you that believed again. And that hits deep. 9 of Tangards. This is the wish card. But here's the truth. It's a solitary wish. You were one step from satisfaction. You saw the finish line. You felt like, this is it. I've earned this. And when it didn't fully materialize the way you expected, it stung your pride. Not just your heart, your pride. Because Aries doesn't just want love. Aries just wants a career. Or Aries doesn't just want a career. Aries wants victory. The Ace of Crowns, this is where the woods will open for you. A new beginning is real, tangible, grounded. This isn't a fantasy. This is something solidly forming. But it won't look exactly what you imagined. The Ace of Crowns says, the throne you want wasn't fully strong enough to hold you. A better foundation is coming. Something with growth potential. Something long term. But you don't see it yet because you're still staring at the door that didn't open. Finally, the 4 of Dragons. This is stability, structure, foundations. It can also be holding on to control. In career, you're craving security, not just excitement. You want something locked in, protected. In love, you may have been guarding your heart, yet hoping someone would break through the walls anyways. And here's the shadow. You can't build a stable kingdom on fear of loss. Next, we got the spirit card, our spirit message. This is about collaboration, recognition, and teamwork. And this is huge. The spirit is saying, you're not meant to win alone. That job you might not have gotten, it may have been a solo throne. What's coming involves partnership, networking, shared victory. The same in love. You don't need someone to save you, but you need someone who builds with you and not just admires your fire from a distance. So what's the real story in this? Aries, this wasn't rejection. It was redirection away from something that would have fed your ego, but not your legacy. And heartbreak, it's teaching you that the difference between being wanted and being chosen. The woods are quiet right now because you're in reflection mode. But Ace of Crowns with the Three of Crowns says this: a new offer, a new collaboration, a new connection. And that's built on mutual effort, not fantasy. Final Hermit message: you are not losing thrones, you are outgrowing small kingdoms. The next chapter requires maturity, patience, discernment, and this time you won't walk into it as hopeful page. You'll walk into knowing your worth. So as you hear the fire crackling and the woods are still, the destiny is already moving, and Aries, you are closer than you think. Thank you for watching. The woods are still, and our reading comes to an end, but your journey isn't over. Comment below with what you felt. Like this video if it spoke to you, and subscribe to walk the path with me in the next reading. Thank you for watching, and may your fire guide you forward.